Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his ship Liberty and watched the alien vessel approach Earth. He had seen ships like this before during his 3 years of deep space missions. The aliens inside believed humans were weak and stupid. Jake smiled because he knew they were very wrong about that. The alien ship belonged to the Vorthak Empire. These creatures looked like giant lizards with sharp teeth and red eyes. They had been visiting different planets for hundreds of years and making those planets into slave worlds. The Vorthak thought Earth would be just another easy target. Ambassador Zethkar was the leader of this mission. He had conquered 12 planets before coming to Earth. All those planets had fallen quickly because their people were not ready for war. Zethkar expected the same thing to happen with humans. Jake pressed a button on his control panel and spoke into his communication device. "Control, this is Liberty reporting. The package has arrived as expected." Back on Earth, President Lisa Chang sat in her office at the United Nations building. She had been waiting for this day for a long time. General Alex Rodriguez stood beside her looking at the screens that showed the alien ship entering Earth orbit. Both of them knew this was the beginning of something big. "Are our people ready?" Lisa asked. "Yes, Madam President. Everyone knows their part in this plan," Alex replied. Dr. Kevin Park worked deep underground in a secret laboratory beneath NORAD Mountain. He looked at the tiny robots he had been building for the past 5 years. These nanobots were so small that aliens could not see them with their eyes or their scanners. Kevin had spent years studying alien technology from crashed ships and stolen parts. Now his robots could copy and control any alien machine. The nanobots were already spreading across Earth. They had been placed in every building where aliens might visit. They were in the air and water systems of major cities. Some were even floating in space around Earth, waiting for the right moment to act. Marine Colonel Sam Miller received his orders through a secure communication channel. Operation Looking Glass was about to begin. Sam had trained special soldiers for this mission. These soldiers looked like normal people, but they had been learning alien languages and fighting methods for years. Some of them were already living on alien planets, pretending to be traders and workers. Intelligence Officer Nina Brooks sat in a dark room full of computer screens. She had been listening to alien communications for months. The aliens used a language they thought humans could not understand. Nina spoke 7 alien languages perfectly. She knew about their plans before they even reached Earth. "They think we are primitive," Nina said to her team. "They believe our weapons are weak and our technology is old. They have no idea what we are really capable of." Nina had learned that Earth was just the first target. The Vorthak had a list of 12 planets they wanted to conquer. After Earth, they planned to attack the peaceful worlds of the Centauri system. The aliens thought these attacks would be easy because they believed all these planets had weak defenses. When Ambassador Zethkar landed at the United Nations building, he expected to see frightened humans begging for mercy. Instead, he found President Lisa Chang waiting for him with a warm smile. She offered him food and drinks as if he was a welcome guest instead of an invader. "We are honored by your visit," Lisa said through a translation device. "Our people are excited to learn about your great empire." Zethkar was confused by this reaction, but he decided to play along. He presented his terms for Earth surrender. All humans would become workers for the Vorthak Empire. Earth resources would be shipped to Vorthak worlds. Human children would be trained as soldiers for future conquests. Lisa appeared to consider these terms carefully. She asked many questions about how the arrangement would work. She seemed worried about keeping her people safe and fed. Zethkar thought she was just another weak leader trying to make the best of a bad situation. "We will need time to discuss this with our government councils," Lisa said. "Our people must vote on important decisions like this." Zethkar laughed inside his mind. These humans actually thought they had a choice in the matter. He agreed to wait 3 days for their answer. This would give his main fleet time to arrive and surround the planet. After Zethkar left the building, General Alex Rodriguez turned to President Chang. He has no idea what he just walked into. Good, Lisa replied. The longer they think we are helpless, the better our chances become. Dr. Kevin Park received confirmation that his nanobots had successfully attached themselves to the ambassador ship. The tiny robots were now copying the alien communication systems and learning how their weapons worked. Soon Kevin would know everything about Vorthak technology. Jake Morrison watched the alien ship leave Earth orbit. He knew Zethkar was reporting back to his fleet that Earth would be an easy conquest. The ambassador had seen exactly what the humans wanted him to see: a weak planet with primitive technology and scared leaders. The truth was very different. Humans had been preparing for this war for decades. They had studied every alien species in the galaxy. They knew the strengths and weaknesses of every alien weapon and ship design. Most importantly, they had learned patience. Soon the Vorthak would discover that their greatest enemy was not another alien empire with powerful weapons. Their greatest enemy was a species that had spent years pretending to be weak while becoming incredibly strong. The hunt was about to begin, and this time humans would be the hunters. The Vorthak invasion fleet dropped out of hyperspace 3 days later, just as Ambassador Zethkar had promised. Admiral Krelthon commanded 50 warships filled with soldiers ready for battle. He looked at Earth through his ship view screen and saw exactly what he expected to see. No orbital defense platforms, no energy shields protecting the cities, no military ships rising to meet his fleet. This will be easier than conquering the Rigel colonies, Admiral Krelthon told his officers. These humans have not even tried to prepare for our arrival. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Bell watched the alien fleet from his hidden position aboard the battleship Defiance. The ship was completely invisible to alien sensors thanks to advanced cloaking technology that humans had developed. Ryan had been waiting in this spot for 2 weeks, knowing the aliens would arrive exactly where they did. "All ships report ready," came the voice of Captain Maria Santos over the secure communication channel. Maria commanded the hidden fleet of human warships positioned throughout the solar system. The aliens had no idea they were surrounded. Captain Tony Hughes spoke from his ship Vengeance, which was hiding behind Mars. "Enemy fleet is in perfect formation for our attack plan. They are following standard Vorthak battle tactics exactly as our intelligence predicted." Dr. Kevin Park sat in his underground laboratory, watching data streams from his nanobots. The tiny robots had been busy for 3 days. They had spread from Ambassador Zethkar's ship to every vessel in the Vorthak fleet during routine supply transfers. The aliens thought they were just moving food and equipment between ships. They had no idea they were also moving millions of invisible enemies. "Nanobots are in position on all enemy vessels," Kevin reported to the command center. "I can disable their life support systems whenever you give the order." President Lisa Chang stood in the war room deep beneath Washington. General Alex Rodriguez pointed to the tactical display showing both fleets. The red dots were Vorthak ships that thought they were alone. The blue dots were human ships that remained completely hidden. "Admiral Krelthon is about to learn that humans are very good at hiding," Lisa said. Intelligence officer Nina Brooks had been monitoring alien communications since the fleet arrived. "They are preparing to demand our surrender. Admiral Krelthon plans to destroy one city as an example if we refuse to give up immediately." "Which city?" General Alex asked. "New York. He wants to kill as many people as possible to show other humans what happens when they resist." Lisa felt anger rise in her chest, but she kept her voice calm. "Then we will show him what happens when someone threatens human civilians." Admiral Krelthon opened a communication channel to Earth. His ugly reptilian face appeared on screens around the world. "Primitive humans, you have 3 minutes to surrender your planet. If you refuse, I will destroy one of your cities. You cannot fight the power of the Vorthak Empire." President Lisa Chang appeared on the return communication. She looked small and frightened compared to the massive alien admiral. Please do not hurt our people. We are willing to discuss terms for surrender." Krelthon laughed with a sound like grinding metal. "There are no terms to discuss. You will obey or you will die. 2 minutes remaining." Behind the Admiral, his weapons officer reported that all guns were charged and ready to fire. The target city had been selected and locked into their targeting computers. In less than 2 minutes, 8 million humans would be dead. 1 minute remaining, Admiral Krelthon announced. "Perhaps watching your largest city burn will teach other humans to be more cooperative." Dr. Kevin Park looked at the activation switch for his nanobots. President Chang had given him permission to begin the counterattack as soon as the aliens threatened civilian targets. Kevin pressed the switch and spoke into his microphone. "Pandora box is now open." Across the Vorthak fleet, tiny robots suddenly came to life. They had been sleeping inside alien computer systems for 3 days, learning how everything worked. Now they began their real mission. Life support systems started failing on every ship. Oxygen levels dropped while carbon dioxide levels rose. Artificial gravity shut down, leaving aliens floating helplessly in their control rooms. "What is happening to our ships?" Admiral Krelthon demanded, as emergency alarms began sounding throughout his fleet. His chief engineer was trying to understand the computer readings. "All systems are failing, sir. Life support, environmental controls, weapons, everything is shutting down at the same time." "Fix it immediately," the Admiral ordered. "We cannot, sir. The computers are not responding to our commands." Captain Maria Santos received the signal she had been waiting for. "All ships, this is Santos. Begin Phase 2 of the operation." The human fleet decloaked around the alien formation. 50 advanced warships appeared out of nowhere surrounding the helpless Vorthak vessels. The aliens found themselves looking at weapons they had never seen before and ship designs that seemed impossible. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earth Defense Force," came a voice over the communication channel. "Admiral Krelthon, you are now our prisoner. Order your fleet to power down all remaining systems and prepare to be boarded." Admiral Krelthon stared at the view screen in shock. "This is impossible. Our intelligence said these humans had no military technology. Where did these ships come from?" Engineer Paul Martinez was already working with robotics specialist Rachel Kim to begin taking apart the alien vessels. Their job was to study every piece of Vorthak technology and figure out how to make it better. The aliens had brought them a wonderful collection of advanced equipment to examine. Dr. Kevin Park nanobots were doing more than just disabling the alien ships. They were also copying every piece of information in the Vorthak computer systems. Technical manuals, weapon designs, star charts, communication codes, everything was being downloaded and sent back to Earth. "Sir, we are receiving data on 47 Vorthak worlds," Nina Brooks reported. "Military installations, government buildings, defense systems, everything is here." President Lisa Chang opened a new communication channel to Admiral Krelthon. The frightened alien admiral was now floating in his command center with no gravity to hold him down. "Admiral, you made a mistake when you threatened to kill innocent people. Humans do not forget when someone tries to hurt our families." "Who are you people?" Admiral Krelthon asked. "Our report said you were primitive and weak." "Your reports were exactly what we wanted them to say," Lisa replied. "We have been watching your empire for many years, learning your weaknesses, and preparing for this day. Now you are going to help us free all the worlds you have conquered." The trap had worked perfectly. The Vorthak fleet was completely helpless, and the humans had not fired a single shot. Admiral Krelthon was beginning to understand that his empire had made a terrible mistake when they decided to attack Earth. Captain Maria Santos stood on the bridge of her flagship Defiance and watched her crew take control of the Vorthak fleet. The alien ships were completely helpless now that Dr. Kevin Park nanobots had disabled all their systems. Human boarding. Parties moved from ship to ship, capturing alien officers and securing their technology. "Report from Boarding Team 7, came a voice over the communication system. "We have secured the enemy flagship and taken Admiral Krelthon into custody." "Excellent work," Maria replied. "Begin full technical analysis of all captured vessels. Engineer." Paul Martinez was already hard at work studying the alien technology. He had dreamed of this moment for years. The Vorthak ships contained advanced weapons systems, energy shields, and faster-than-light engines that were more powerful than anything humans currently used. "This is amazing," Paul told his team as they examined an alien weapon system. "Their plasma cannons are 30% more efficient than our current designs, but I can see at least 5 ways to improve them." Robotics specialist Rachel Kim was working on the alien computer systems. The Vorthak used artificial intelligence to control many ship functions, but their programming was much simpler than human designs. "Their AI systems are actually quite primitive," Rachel reported. "We can easily reprogram them to work with human technology." Dr. Kevin Park watched his nanobots spread throughout the captured fleet. The tiny robots were not just copying alien technology anymore. They were beginning to change it. Every alien system was being modified to work better with human equipment. The Vorthak weapons were becoming human weapons that were twice as powerful as before. "The nanobots are performing better than I expected," Kevin told President Lisa Chang, over a secure communication link. "They are not just learning from the alien technology, they are improving it." General Alex Rodriguez was coordinating with intelligence teams across the galaxy. Human agents, who had been pretending to be harmless, traitors and diplomats for years, were now revealing their true purpose. "Strike teams are reporting successful operations on 17 Vorthak worlds," Alex announced. Intelligence officer Nina Brooks had intercepted communications from across the Vorthak Empire. The aliens were panicking as reports came in about coordinated attacks on their military bases. "They had no idea how many of our people were already in their territory," Nina said with satisfaction. Agent Steve Parker had been working as a cargo ship pilot in the Vorthak system for 2 years. When he received the signal to begin operations, he activated hidden weapon systems and destroyed the main communication relay for an entire star system. The aliens could no longer coordinate their defenses. Agent Lisa Turner had been serving food in a Vorthak military cafeteria for 18 months. She used that time to plant nanobots in the base computer systems. When the attack began, every security door locked shut, trapping alien soldiers inside their own buildings. Captain Tony Hughes led a strike force to the Vorthak supply depot at Kepler Station. The aliens thought the human ships approaching them were just another trading convoy. They realized their mistake when Tony's ship suddenly revealed hidden weapons and destroyed the entire depot in minutes. "This is too easy," Tony reported back to Earth. The aliens built their entire military system on the idea that they were superior to everyone else. They never prepared for enemies who might be smarter than them. Admiral Krelthon sat in a holding cell aboard the Defiance, watching human technicians tear apart his flagship. Everything he thought he knew about these creatures had been wrong. The humans were not primitive. They were not weak. They had been pretending to be helpless while building the most advanced military force the galaxy had ever seen. "How long have you been planning this?" Admiral Krelthon asked Captain Maria Santos when she came to visit his cell. "We have been preparing for your empire for 23 years, Maria replied. "Ever since your ships first visited our solar system, we knew this day would come. But our intelligence report said you had no advanced technology. Your intelligence report saw exactly what we wanted them to see. We let your spies observe primitive human settlements while hiding our real capabilities underground and in space. Dr. Kevin Park nanobots had now spread to every Vorthak ship in the captured fleet. But they were doing something new. They were copying themselves and sending those copies back to the Vorthak homeworld through the alien communication systems. Soon, every Vorthak computer network would be infected with human technology." President Lisa Chang addressed the Galactic Council through captured Vorthak communication equipment. Leaders from dozens of alien civilizations watched as she explained what had happened to the mighty Vorthak fleet. The Vorthak Empire believed they could conquer Earth because they thought humans were weak and primitive, Lisa said. "They were wrong about our capabilities, and they were wrong about our character. Any other civilization that considers attacking human worlds should remember what happened here today." The response from the Galactic Council was immediate. Some species offered to form defensive alliances with Earth. Others begged for trade agreements. A few asked for human protection against Vorthak attacks on their own worlds. "They are all afraid," Nina Brooks reported after analyzing the incoming communications. "Every alien government is trying to figure out what else they might have been wrong about regarding human capabilities." Engineer Paul Martinez had finished his initial analysis of the Vorthak technology. "We can build ships that are 50% faster and twice as powerful as anything the aliens have," he reported. "But more importantly, we now understand how their entire military network operates." Captain Jake Morrison received new orders from Earth Command. His ship Liberty was being equipped with the best Vorthak technology modified by human engineers. Soon he would lead a task force to the Vorthak homeworld to begin the next phase of the operation. "Are you ready to show the aliens what humans can really do?" President Chang asked Jake over a secure communication channel. "We have been ready for years, Madam President," Jake replied. "The Vorthak are about to discover that attacking Earth was the biggest mistake their empire ever made." The first phase of the human counterattack was complete. The Vorthak invasion fleet had been captured without firing a shot. Their technology was being copied and improved by human engineers. Their communication networks were infected with human nanobots. Most importantly, their entire military command structure now believed that humans were far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. But this was just the beginning. The real war was about to start, and this time the humans would be the ones doing the attacking. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his upgraded ship Liberty as it dropped out of hyperspace near the Vorthak homeworld of Kashtar. The planet looked peaceful from this distance, but Jake knew it contained the heart of an empire that had enslaved dozens of worlds. That was about to change. "All ships report ready for operation," came the voice of Captain Tony Hughes from his position leading the second attack group. The human fleet had grown larger using captured and improved Vorthak technology. What had started as 50 ships was now over 200 vessels. Admiral Krelthorne watched from his cell aboard the Defiance as human forces approached his homeworld. "You cannot attack Kashtar," he told Captain Maria Santos. "Our planetary defenses are the strongest in the galaxy. Thousands of weapon platforms protect our cities." "Your weapon platforms were designed by Vorthak engineers," Maria replied calmly. "Dr. Kevin Park nanobots have been studying those designs for weeks. We know exactly how to shut them down." Dr. Kevin Park sat in his laboratory watching data streams from across the Vorthak Empire. His nanobots had spread through alien communication networks like an invisible plague. Every military base, every government building, every weapons facility was now infected with his tiny robots. "I have complete access to their entire defense network," Kevin reported to the strike force commanders. "I can disable any weapon system in the Empire whenever you need me to." Intelligence officer Nina Brooks had been monitoring Vorthak communications as the human fleet approached their homeworld. "They are trying to organize a defense, but their commanders cannot agree on strategy. Some want to fight while others want to negotiate." "What about their civilian population?" President Lisa Chang asked from Earth. "Most Vorthak civilians are hiding in underground shelters. They have been told that primitive humans somehow captured their invasion fleet and are coming to destroy their world." General Alex Rodriguez coordinated the attack from the command center beneath Washington. "Remember, our objective is not to destroy the Vorthak people. We want to end their empire and free the worlds they have conquered." The first sign of trouble for the Vorthak defenders came when their orbital weapon platforms stopped responding to commands. Dr. Kevin Park had activated his nanobots throughout their defense network. Weapons that should have been firing at the approaching human fleet instead powered down and went silent. "Sir, our defense platforms are not responding," reported the Vorthak defense coordinator to his commander. "All weapon systems have gone offline simultaneously." "How is that possible?" the commander demanded. "We do not know, sir. The systems appear to be shutting themselves down. Captain Jake Morrison led the first wave of human ships toward the planet's surface. Instead of meeting heavy weapons fire, the fleet encountered no resistance at all. The mighty Vorthak defenses had been neutralized without firing a single shot. Engineer Paul Martinez was studying real-time data from the planet attack systems. Their technology is impressive, but it was designed with a critical flaw. Everything is connected to central computers that we now control. Robotics specialist Rachel Kim had programmed the nanobots to be selective in their targets. We are only disabling military systems. Civilian infrastructure like hospitals and schools is being left alone. Colonel Sam Miller led ground forces to the surface of Kashtar. His soldiers had trained for urban combat in alien environments. They knew exactly where to find the important government and military buildings, thanks to intelligence gathered over many years. Primary objective secured, Sam reported as his team captured the main government complex. Vorthak leadership is requesting permission to surrender. The speed of the human victory shocked alien observers throughout the galaxy. The Vorthak homeworld had fallen in less than 6 hours. The empire that had seemed unstoppable was collapsing faster than anyone thought possible. Captain Maria Santos received reports from strike teams across the Vorthak territory. 31 worlds have surrendered in the past 12 hours. Their military commanders realize they cannot fight an enemy that controls their own technology. Dr. Kevin Park nanobots were doing more than just disabling alien defenses. They were gathering information about every aspect of Vorthak society. Military plans, economic data, population records, everything was being copied and analyzed by human intelligence teams. We now know the location of every Vorthak military base in the galaxy, Nina Brooks reported. We also have detailed information about the worlds they conquered and the people they enslaved. President Lisa Chang opened a communication channel to the surviving Vorthak leadership. The alien officials looked defeated and frightened as they appeared on the screen. Your empire is finished, Lisa told them, but your people do not have to suffer if you cooperate with us. What do you want from us? Asked the Vorthak Prime Minister. We want you to release every world you have conquered. We want you to free every species you have enslaved. Most importantly, we want you to understand that the age of Vorthak expansion is over. Intelligence Officer Nina Brooks had been analyzing communications from other alien civilizations. Word is spreading across the galaxy about what happened here. Some species are celebrating because they thought the Vorthak were too powerful to defeat. Others are worried about what humans might do next. The Galactic Council sent a formal message requesting a meeting with Earth representatives. The same alien leaders who had ignored humanity for decades now wanted to discuss trade agreements and defensive alliances. They are all wondering the same thing, General Alex Rodriguez observed. If humans could destroy the Vorthak Empire this easily, what other capabilities might they be hiding? Captain Tony Hughes was leading cleanup operations on liberated Vorthak worlds. His job was to help former slave populations establish their own governments while preventing revenge attacks against Vorthak civilians. The freed populations want to thank Earth for liberating them, Tony reported. Some species are asking if they can join a human-led alliance for protection against future threats. Engineer Paul Martinez had completed his analysis of captured Vorthak technology. We can now build ships that are faster and more powerful than anything else in the galaxy. More importantly, we understand how every major alien military force operates. Dr. Kevin Park was already working on the next generation of nanobots. These would be even smaller and more capable than the ones that had defeated the Vorthak Empire. If any other species decides to threaten human interests, we will be ready for them. Admiral Krelthon sat in his cell, watching human technicians continue to study his flagship. How did your species become so advanced so quickly? He asked Captain Maria Santos. We did not become advanced quickly, Maria replied. We have been advanced for a long time. We just let everyone think we were primitive while we learned about our potential enemies. The hunt had been successful beyond all expectations. The Vorthak Empire was finished, and dozens of enslaved worlds were free. But more importantly, the galaxy now understood that humanity was not a species to be underestimated or threatened. The age of human expansion was just beginning. 6 months after the fall of Kashtar, the once mighty Vorthak Empire had been reduced to scattered groups hiding in asteroid belts and abandoned space stations. Captain Tony Hughes led deep strike missions hunting down the remaining Vorthak military, leaders who refused to surrender. "Contact bearing 27 Mark IV, reported his weapons officer as they approached another hiding place. "Looks like a small Vorthak cruiser trying to stay hidden behind that asteroid. They can run, but they cannot hide from us," Tony replied. "Our scanners can detect their ships even when they think they are invisible." The Vorthak cruiser tried to escape when it detected the human ships approaching, but Dr. Kevin Park nanobots had infected even their isolated vessels. The alien ship engines shut down just as it tried to jump to hyperspace. "This is Captain Hughes of the Earth Defense Force," Tony announced over the communication channel. "You are surrounded and your ship is disabled. Surrender now and you will be treated fairly." The Vorthak captain appeared on screen looking tired and defeated. "We surrender, human. Our empire is finished and we have nowhere left to run." Dr. Kevin Park watched his nanobots continue to evolve and improve themselves. The tiny robots had learned from every alien system they encountered. Now they were building new versions of themselves that were even more capable than the original designs. "The nanobots are becoming self-improving," Kevin reported to President Lisa Chang. "They can now adapt to any alien technology within hours of first contact." Robotics specialist Rachel Kim was working with engineer Paul Martinez to create new hybrid technologies. They were combining the best features of human engineering with improved alien designs to build weapons and ships that surpassed anything the galaxy had ever seen. "Our new cruiser designs are 3 times faster than the best Vorthak ships," Paul announced proudly. "And our weapons are powerful enough to disable an entire enemy fleet without causing permanent damage." Intelligence Officer Nina Brooks coordinated with former Vorthak slaves who were now helping to hunt down their former masters. "The liberated populations are providing excellent intelligence about hidden Vorthak bases. They know all the secret locations where the aliens might be hiding." Captain Jake Morrison had been promoted to admiral and now commanded the largest human fleet in history. His ships patrolled former Vorthak territory, helping newly freed worlds establish their own defenses. Report from the Centauri Liberation Fleet, came a communication from Captain Maria Santos. "The last Vorthak garrison has surrendered. All 12 worlds in the system are now free." General Alex Rodriguez received daily reports from across the galaxy showing the complete collapse of Vorthak power. Their empire controlled 47 worlds 6 months ago. Now they control nothing. The most important change was happening on the former Vorthak homeworld of Kashtar. Colonel Sam Miller was working with civilian leaders to establish a new government that would represent all the different species living on the planet. "The Vorthak civilians are cooperating fully with the transition process," Sam reported. "They understand that their old government was wrong to attack Earth and enslave other worlds." President Lisa Chang had established the new Terran Republic as a coalition government representing 43 different species. Former enemies were becoming allies as they realized that human leadership offered protection and prosperity. "The galaxy is changing faster than anyone expected," Lisa told her advisors. "Species that fought each other for centuries are now working together under human guidance." The Galactic Council had been completely reorganized with Earth as the dominant power. Ambassador Zethkar, who had originally come to conquer Earth, now served as a living reminder of what happened to species that underestimated humanity. "I spend my days documenting the rise of human civilization," Zethkar told other alien diplomats. "My species' greatest mistake was believing Earth was harmless." Dr. Kevin Park nanobots had become the foundation of a new technological paradigm that made traditional warfare obsolete. Any species that threatened human interests found their own technology turned against them within hours. We no longer need to fight wars in the traditional sense, Kevin explained to the Scientific Council. Our nanobots can disable any enemy force without destroying their ships or killing their crews. Intelligence Officer Nina Brooks had established a galaxy-wide information network that allowed humans to monitor potential threats before they became dangerous. We know about every military movement and political development in known space. Engineer Paul Martinez was leading teams that were building new types of spacecraft designed for exploration rather than war. Now that we have secured the galaxy, we can focus on expanding into unexplored regions. Captain Tony Hughes had been assigned to lead the new Deep Space Exploration Command. His mission was to search for other galaxies that might contain intelligent life. There are probably other civilizations out there that need to learn the same lesson we taught the Vorthak, Tony told his crew as they prepared for their first intergalactic mission. The transformation was not just military and political. Human culture was spreading throughout the galaxy as other species adopted human languages, sciences, and arts. Universities on dozens of worlds were teaching human history and philosophy. Robotics specialist Rachel Kim was working on projects to improve life for all galactic citizens. We are using our technology to build better hospitals, schools, and transportation systems for every world in the Republic. Former Vorthak Admiral Krelthon had been released from prison and was now working as a consultant helping other species understand human capabilities. The most dangerous thing about humans is not their technology, he warned other alien leaders. It is their patience and their ability to learn from their enemies. Colonel Sam Miller was training a new generation of peacekeepers recruited from dozens of different species. These soldiers would help maintain order and protect smaller worlds from any remaining threats. Every species in the galaxy now understands that attacking human interests is suicide, Sam told his trainees. But we must remain ready in case someone is foolish enough to try. The new Terran Republic had become the most powerful force in galactic history. But unlike previous empires, it was built on cooperation rather than conquest. Species joined willingly because they recognized the benefits of human leadership. President Lisa Chang looked at reports showing peaceful development projects on hundreds of worlds. We have achieved something that seemed impossible a year ago. The galaxy is united under human guidance, and every species is prospering. The reckoning was complete, the Vorthak Empire was finished, and a new age of galactic civilization had begun. Humanity had proven that the most powerful weapon was not superior technology, but superior intelligence and the patience to use it wisely. 1 year after the first Vorthak ship entered Earth's solar system, Admiral Krelthon stood in a courtroom on the human colony of New Geneva. The former Vorthak homeworld had been transformed into a center for galactic justice where war criminals faced trial for their crimes against innocent populations. The proceedings were broadcast across the galaxy so every species could see that human justice was both swift and fair. Krelthon had been given the best legal defense available, and all evidence against him had been presented openly. Admiral Krelthon, you stand accused of enslaving 47 worlds and ordering the deaths of billions of innocent beings, announced Judge Patricia Moore. How do you plead to these charges? I plead guilty to all charges, Krelthon replied. I accept responsibility for the crimes of the Vorthak Empire. President Lisa Chang watched the trial from her office on Earth. The galaxy needed to see that even former enemies could receive fair treatment under human law. Krelthon punishment would be imprisonment rather than execution, because humans believed in rehabilitation rather than revenge. Captain Jake Morrison now commanded the Earth Defense Force, which had grown into the largest fleet in galactic history. His ships were built using hybrid technology that combined the best human engineering with improved alien designs. Fleet status report, Jake requested from his flagship New Liberty. All sectors report peaceful conditions, Admiral, replied his communications officer. No hostile activity detected anywhere in the Republic. Dr. Kevin Park had been promoted to Director of Galactic Technology Development. His nanobots had become the foundation of a new technological civilization that benefited every species in the Republic. The latest generation of nanobots can repair damaged ecosystems and clean polluted atmospheres, Kevin reported to the Scientific Council. We are using them to restore worlds that were damaged by Vorthak strip mining operations. Engineer Paul Martinez was leading the construction of massive space stations that would serve as centers for trade and cultural exchange. These stations were built using materials donated by dozens of different worlds working together. The Harmony Station project is ahead of schedule, Paul announced. Representatives from 60 species will be able to meet and work together in a neutral environment. General Alex Rodriguez had been appointed as Supreme Commander of Republic Defense Forces. His job was to coordinate military units recruited from allied species to maintain peace throughout the galaxy. Our integrated defense system now includes ships and personnel from 38 different species, Alex reported. Former enemies are working together to protect their shared civilization. Intelligence officer Nina Brooks had established the Galactic Information Network, which allowed instant communication between all Republic worlds. The system used quantum entanglement technology that made interstellar communication as fast as local telephone calls. We can now coordinate activities across the entire galaxy in real time, Nina explained to government officials. No world is isolated or alone anymore. Robotics specialist Rachel Kim was working on projects to improve education and healthcare for all galactic citizens. Her medical nanobots could cure diseases that had plagued alien species for thousands of years. We have eliminated 7 major diseases that used to kill millions of beings every year, Rachel reported proudly. Our goal is to make advanced medical care available to every citizen, regardless of their species or location. Colonel Sam Miller was now General Miller and commanded the Galactic Peacekeeping Academy. Young beings from dozens of species trained together to become the next generation of Republic defenders. Our cadets learn to work together despite their different biologies and cultures, Sam told visiting dignitaries. They represent the future of galactic civilization. Captain Tony Hughes had returned from his first intergalactic expedition with amazing news. His deep space exploration fleet had made contact with peaceful civilizations in the neighboring Andromeda galaxy. The Andromedans are interested in establishing trade relations, Tony reported. They have been watching our galaxy for years and are impressed by the peaceful unification we achieved. Captain Maria Santos commanded the Republic Fleet Academy, where the best pilots from all species learned to operate the new hybrid spacecraft. These ships were designed for exploration and rescue operations rather than warfare. We are building a fleet for peace rather than war, Maria explained to her students. Our mission is to explore new worlds and help civilizations that need assistance. Ambassador Zethkar had completed his historical documentation project. His book about the rise of human civilization was required reading in schools throughout the Republic. My people made the mistake of judging humans by their appearance rather than their capabilities, Zethkar wrote in his conclusion. We thought they were primitive because they looked weak. We learned too late that true strength comes from intelligence, patience, and the ability to work together. The new Terran Republic had established colonies in 12 galaxies and made peaceful contact with over 300 intelligent species. Unlike previous galactic empires, it grew through cooperation rather than conquest. Dr. Kevin Park was working on his most ambitious project yet. His new nanobots could terraform dead planets and make them suitable for life within decades rather than centuries. We are not just exploring space anymore, Kevin announced. We are creating new worlds where different species can live together in harmony. President Lisa Chang had been elected to serve a second term as leader of the Republic. Her government represented the interests of over 500 billion beings from dozens of different species. When the Vorthak first came to Earth, they thought they were conquering a primitive world, Lisa said in her inauguration speech. Instead, they awakened a civilization that would unite the galaxy in peace. The transformation was complete. The galaxy that had once been divided by war and conquest was now united under human leadership. Species that had been enemies for millennia were working together to build a better future for all. Former Admiral Krelthon served his sentence by helping to design rehabilitation programs for other war criminals. He spent his days teaching younger beings about the importance of peaceful cooperation. The greatest lesson I learned from humans is that true power comes not from the ability to destroy your enemies, but from the wisdom to turn them into friends, Krelthon told his students. Engineer Paul Martinez was designing spacecraft capable of traveling to distant galaxies in search of new civilizations that might need help or want to join the Republic. Our mission is to spread the message that different species can live together in peace, Paul explained. Every world we visit becomes a little bit better because of what we learned from human leadership. The galaxy had learned the most important lesson in its history. Humanity's greatest weapon was not their technology or their military might. It was their patience, their adaptability, and their willingness to let others underestimate them until the moment was right to show their true nature. The age of human civilization had begun, and it would last for thousands of years. Future generations would remember this time as the moment when the galaxy learned that peace was possible when the right species was willing to lead by example.